Hello and welcome everyone. It is time for Jim Comics Top Picks for New Comic Book Day this upcoming Wednesday, December 9th, 2020. We got another good week of books coming. A little lighter week for me, but definitely some good books. I got a ton of stuff to talk about. I got spec books. I got some stuff coming down the road. And just a whole, man, what a crazy day it was today. We'll get into that in a second. As usual, I want to thank all my subscribers on YouTube and followers on Instagram. You're all awesome. Whether you agree or disagree with me, hey, it's all good because we're talking comics, and Wednesday is the best day of the week, so it's awesome. As usual, you know, Nick the Knob and his Key Collector Comics app. Give it a try if you haven't. It's a great app, ton of info. So I wanted to start out by talking about King in Black, the secret variant. Because I put a post out on this on my Instagram, damn it, I forget what day it was. Or it was Monday or Sunday or something, I can't remember. But I did not give a tip of the hat to Economics and Comics. I didn't realize he'd put out a video, and he was kind of, I guess a lot of people, or not a lot of people, a few people sent me messages and, hey, Economics and Comics did a video on that the week prior, so I didn't realize that. So I wanted to give him a shout out and a tip of the hat, say great job by him, because I like to give credit to people when they come up with stuff, and I didn't realize he had done that, but hey, good on you for coming out with that. Apparently he's got a good channel. I have not watched his channel, but I just subscribed to him after I found out he's the one that came out with it on Instagram, and I got to watch some of his videos when I get some time. So anyways, Economics and Comics, good job with that, my man. And thank you to all the people that let me know that he put it out, because without that I wouldn't know that he did it. So yeah, so anyways, and then since I'm talking about books in the background, Daredevil 25 was one of my picks last week. It was just, I'll be honest, I had no idea Electra was going to become Daredevil. I just figured being the 25th issue, I love that series, that something was going to happen, but I didn't realize it was going to be that. And being that it's a fairly low print run and has been the whole way through, but it's been one of my favorite series. I say it every time it comes out. It's one of the best series Marvel's putting out. Man, am I glad I got that on my pull list. That's all I can say, because that was a full appearance of her as Daredevil. Whether or not she stays as that, or it's just a couple issues, who knows. But he was stuff in comics these days. You just never know what's going. And I want to talk about kind of, well, I got both on the screen there. I've seen a few people show this image. She actually shows up in King in Black as well, right in the if you didn't know this, I know a lot of you probably do, but right in the center page where the staples are, you can see her just kind of just in the background here. So just a little brief cameo in this King in Black. So that's another reason why this King in Black is a good one to have. So it was a good story. I read it. I thought it was pretty good. We'll see where it goes. But hey, it's Donny Cates writing it. I love all Donny Cates stuff. So I'll leave those for now. I'll get into what I'm looking at, and then I got some more stuff. Man, I got so much to talk about. So my books this week, I got a really light week. Do my indies first. I got Image. I got Crossover number 2. There's 5 covers for this one. It looks like there's 2 regular price covers. Then there's a 1 for 10, a 1 for 25, and a 1 for 50. I think are the ratios on those. I'm just going for cover A. That's usually what I do on most of these. And I just want to mention that Donny Cates did put out a tweet this week mentioning that issue 3 and 6 are going to be really big. He is saying he's not bullshitting and they're going to be big issues. I tend to, anything Donny Cates puts out, I buy it. And if you've noticed with his series, they always take a few issues before they really hit off. Venom was that way. Venom came out, everybody bought issue 1. It was a great read. Issue 2, the sales dropped off. Issue 3, people didn't clue into Null for a little bit there, and now look at that. Same with Thor. Thor came out. It was, you know, a lot of people, I don't know if they don't think it's going to be good or what, but I really think this crossover is going to be a big series. So if you are planning on dropping it, I would highly recommend you stick with it. I've already pre-ordered number 3, a few copies of that one, because if he says it's going to be a big issue, I'm buying it. Because I really think you're going to get somebody, like the title says, crossing over from another series into that one, and we'll see where it goes. But yeah, anyways, Crossover 2 out this week, bunch of covers, get what you want. From DC, I only got the 1 from DC. It's Batman Black and White. You got 4 covers for that one. Regular cover A by Capullo, who I love his artwork. I'm just going to stick with cover A. There's a nice cover B. There is a Momoko cover C, which has got Talia al Ghul on the cover. That's a nice cover as well. And then there's a blank cover D, but I'm just going cover A. Well, I'll probably grab a Momoko cover as well. It is pretty nice. That's it from DC. From Marvel, I got 3 from them. I got Avengers 39, as it starts a Enter the Phoenix, a prologue to Enter the Phoenix. And it looks like it's back a million years BC and probably the first Phoenix, I guess, with the Avengers and everything. So I want to see where that Jason Aaron's taking that. So I want to get, I've been off the Avengers for a little bit, but I want to get back on them because I do enjoy that series. One of my favorite series, and a series, man, I really hope you're sticking with it, is Strange Academy number 6 is coming out this week. And there is, I think it's issue number 8. There's a ring of destruction that shows up. And man, I really hope you're sticking with this series. I think this is going to be a big series long term. So anyways, there's 3 covers for Strange Academy 6 this week. Pick which ones you want. As usual, I'm getting cover A. And last from Marvel is Venom 31. How can you not be buying that? You know what I say if you're not buying Venom. 4 covers for that one. Again, I'm probably just going to go cover A, but you obviously pick what you want to do. But man, it's been a... I'm not buying all... I don't know about all you, but I'm not buying all the King of Black tie-ins. I'm going to buy some of them. There's definitely some I'm getting. But I'm not going to buy them all. I'm just not. I'm going to get the main title, and I'll stick with Venom, obviously. And... I'll pick up a few other ones, but that's about it. So my picks this week, I don't have many to pick from because I only got 5 books listed. Pretty much almost everything I put out there. So Batman Black and White number 1, I'm going to definitely get that one. And remember, issue number 3 is the one where supposedly the new Robin shows up. So try to, if you're not buying that whole series, pre-order issue number 3 right now because you got time to do it. That's definitely one you want to get. Crossover number 2, I'm really actually enjoyed that series, and I think this is going to be big long term, so I'm buying it all the way through. Strange Academy number 6, again, I really like this series, and it's pretty much got Disney Plus written all over it. And Venom 31, just because I love Venom, and it's a great series. So that is it for my books this week, but a couple things I want to talk about. I talked about the ones in the background, great books. Going to talk about news. I posted out by now. I'm sure you're all well aware. Naomi, Ava DuVernay said she's bringing her to the small screen. So there was the 2 copies of first issue. You got second, third print, all the other issues. 6-issue mini-series with it. It was a great series. But it was one of my. I talked about every issue. I thought it was great. Jamal Campbell's artwork was awesome. I love the character. I like when they bring a new character in and a good story and good artwork, and then they blend it into the universe. Man, it was just so good and so well done. Kudos to Bendis to that one because it was really good. I love the character. And so issue 1 obviously is a big one, but don't forget about issue number 5 because 5 is the one where she gets her new uniform and cosmic powers. She finds out what they are, but it's not just that. You also get your first, remember that character, oops, shit, I'm hitting the screen there. Zombato shows up. It's the first appearance of that guy, who's a pretty bad dude. So bringing him into the DCU, so you get him in the middle of the book, and then on the last page of the book, he comes through into the DCU. So that is, it's good for a couple reasons. Number 5 is definitely good. It was a higher print run by that time. Because the first issue, if I remember, it was just over 25,000, and that's for both covers. So it's a pretty low print run on that number 1. So definitely a good one to get. And I know I got a lot of. I put the post out today, and so many people are like, "Holy cap! Finally!" Because it's one of those books. You just got to have some patience. I've said it a ton of times, and I know my good buddy Gino Bonino. He agrees with me. You got to have some patience if you're going to be a comic collector. Don't expect every book on Wednesday to be $100. Like it's not about that. Like some books take decades for it to happen, a couple years, but nowadays with all the books like Far Sector, that one's that's only a year and a half old, whatever it is. Naomi's not that old. Just stuff's happening a lot faster, but it's not going to happen instantly, and it takes time for this stuff to roll out. But anyways, I wanted to talk about man, I got a lot of books to talk about here. Another one I want to talk about is Immortal Hulk. I haven't talked about Immortal Hulk for a while. It's one of my favorite series, and it's been a great book. Issue 1, I know you all know this, is a great book. Obviously, the first issue in the new series, all that kind of jazz. Alex Ross covers, great artwork. Joe Bennett's doing the interior art. It's your first full appearance of Jackie McGee in issue number 1, and my buddy Wolf Warner, gotta say hi to Wolf. Yo, Wolf, what are you doing, buddy? He and I have been joking for a long time that she'd become the Immortal reporter, because she's obviously a reporter, right? So, but if I want to talk about number 11 just for a second, because if you remember in issue number 10, they ended up right at the end of the book. They end up in hell, and on the kind of right at the beginning of the book, she asks the Hulk, "How do I get to be what you are?" As they're walking through hell and everything else. And then a couple pages later, he asks her, he says, "But if you could step into a gamma machine, you would, right?" And she says, "Sure, who wouldn't?" So she's basically saying, yeah, I want to become a Hulk, because he destroyed her house and she wants the power and everything else. But I don't know if you notice, right on this page where she asks that question, right in this top corner, it says, "Does God have a Hulk?" It's kind of interesting they put that in there. And then I want to show you, if you look through this recent preview that just came out, there's a preview for Immortal Hulk number 44 in here, and just give me a second because I got to find it. So there's the cover, another Ross cover. It's great stuff. In the solicitation down at the bottom, it says, "In New York, the UFOs are hunting a weakened Hulk with the one thing that can kill him for good. In New Mexico, the new Sasquatch faces even weirder than he is. Something very strange is happening to Jacqueline McGee." And remember, this series, Joe Bennett has said it's ending at 50. Now, whether it's just his and Al Ewing's run on it that ends at 50, and then somebody else will be taking over 51, or they're going to relaunch it at 51, or they're going to, who knows what they're going to do. But I have a sneaky suspicion that you're going to get Jackie McGee becoming either, I don't know, get infused with gamma radiation or something, because it's kind of funny. She was in the very first book. She's been tagging along the whole way through, and now something very strange has happened to Jacqueline McGee. So stick with that series. If you dropped it, you might want to get back on it, because I think something big's going to come with that. And with all the female characters seem to be getting big time roles in movies and everything else, don't be surprised if she shows up. And talking about female characters and Naomi and everything else, we've got Jane Foster coming up in that movie, Love and Thunder, showing up soon. And with, I want to talk about a little spec here, because if you remember back in War of the Realms Omega, she becomes Valkyrie. And then a couple weeks later, they launched the Valkyrie comic book. This came out July 24th. This came out, I got it written down here. When the hell did that come out? July 10th. So 10th and then 24th. So basically it launched, she becomes Valkyrie right at the end of this Omega. And I have a sneaky suspicion that in the movie, she obviously is going to be Thor, but I don't think they're going to keep her as Thor all the way through. And I really think the storyline potentially could follow where she transitions into Valkyrie. And this book could be a real big one. And the one I want you to look for is the War of the Realms Omega 1 second print. Because from the numbers I'm seeing, there was only 1,011 of these printed. Now that's off Comic Run. It's the only numbers I can see. She's on the cover. It's not her first cover appearance as Valkyrie, because this book, Valkyrie number 1, came out a couple weeks prior to the second print coming out. But with this being a print run of basically just over 1,000, that is a super low print run, because you got to remember this series, it wasn't the greatest series, and I don't think it was received super well. A lot of shops just weren't ordering it because they were stuck with a bunch of the first prints and everything else. So if you can find that, and I found these in the back issue bin for cover price, pick them up, because I really think those are gonna. If she becomes Valkyrie in the movies, which I think there's a big chance of that. You never know what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen with that one? Boy, oh boy. Because you got to remember, in the comics too, they're launching this whole new Valkyries series, or mini-series anyways, and so it's going to be Jane Foster as Valkyrie, you got Broomhilda, and you've got Tessa, I believe it's Tessa Thompson Valkyrie in there, and then you've also got a brand new Valkyrie showing up. And don't be surprised if the Valkyries become a big part of the movies going forward. So if that's the case, Jane Foster is going to be a big part of it. And I really think that they're going to phase her from Thor into Valkyrie in the movies. And man, oh man, that if 1,000 print run, good luck. Hold on to your hat. Anyways, that's all I got for you this week, folks. Some good stuff coming in the next few weeks. Like I say, next week's a bit later of a week, but there's always something that sneaks in there, so we'll see it happens. But anyways, hope you got your Daredevil 25. Man, that's a good book. Oh yeah, and talking about Daredevil 25, I know there's a second print's been announced. It's a gorgeous cover. It's that whole splash page of her or Elektra as Daredevil jumping down and stuff. Just be aware that the print run on that's going to be really, really big. So don't go ordering 100 copies thinking they're going to be 1,000, because they're just not. It's I saw a comment from somebody. He was, I can't remember who it was, but they're like, yeah, the second print's probably going to be a higher print run than the first print. So if you can get the first print, that's the one you want. And if you were lucky enough to get the one for 25 for that, holy cow, that's especially if you got it at ratio, that was a good one to get. But anyway, that's all I got for you folks. Take care, happy hunting, have a good weekend. Talk to you later in the week. Bye for now.